Welcome to Butcher Block Horror Podcast, where we exhume horror movies from the past and cut into what makes them so delectable.
I'm not with them.
I'm Ken.
I'm JD.
And I'm Denise Richards.
Hi, Denise.
Right. Welcome to Butcher Block Horror Podcast, where we exhume horror movies from the past and cut into what makes them so delectable. I'm Kane.
I am JD.
And I am Joe.
Today...
Are you sure about that?
I could be Denise Richards. You don't know.
Today we're going to be
I'd prefer it if you were.
Audition onto the slab and carving up our favorite Audition to force feed to you our unwitting victims. If you enjoy the taste, saying this is going to be great. If you enjoy the taste of these feasts of fright, then give us a like and subscribe. Be sure to click the bell.
Did you enjoy the taste of Audition, King?
Yeah. Consider taking a look at our website. We give you brainworms.com. This will let you take a look at our other projects and keep track of that. And it will give you a link to our Patreon and our Discord community channel.
Or will it?
No, it will.
If you go to the Patreon, you have the option of getting cool stuff depending on how much monies you throw down. Regardless, feel free to drop by the website. Also, the Instagram, is that how you say it, guys? Instagram?
I like to say Instagram.
Instagram. You can get on the Instagrams.
Yeah.
And if you send messages, JD will likely answer them.
I will be there. I will be there for you.
And our most generous Patreon supporters get a kiss directly from JD.
I mean, not now. You'll have to retrieve that kiss post-pandemic.
That's fair. Yeah. I guess that is a concern.
And there could be a print of a serial killer in there for you.
He'll put a lipstick print on the serial killer print that he sends you.
What I meant to say was, I've drawn some serial killers, portraits.
Yeah.
And I would like to award some of our listeners with a copy.
Ooh, that sounds exciting.
So we're going to talk about a movie tonight called Audition.
I need you tonight.
Audition.
Yeah.
Why don't you give us a synopsis overview, JD?
You're the one that wants to talk about Audition so much. Why don't you talk about it?
Yeah, tell us about Audition.
I will tell us about Audition, but first I'm going to give just a smear of background.
A smear?
A dollop.
Isn't giving a smear of background also talking about Audition?
Yes, so anyway, Audition was originally released at the Vancouver International Film Festival in October of 1999. It was released in Japan March of 2000, and a runtime of 113 minutes. Whatever we watched tonight must have been an extended cut.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, the synopsis.
Mm-hmm.
Basically about a widower who was pretty much a creepy piece of shit.
Yep.
Who decides to begin dating again, and a fellow piece of shit film producer friend tries to assist him in finding a match through setting up this fake production and hosting some auditions to find a mate.
Well, I think it's a real production.
They're just using it as a pretense.
Yeah, it's a real production. They're just using it to audition women for shige to find a new mate.
Which is wildly inappropriate.
It's super gross.
Anyway, yeah, the main character, right, Oyama, becomes interested in a particular gorgeous yet withdrawn participant, and the two begin a relationship. Not long after, he begins to realize he's well in over his head.
Yeah, so that was a good synopsis overview.
Yeah.
Let's not drag it out too long.
Sure.
JD loves to drag out the synopsis.
I know.
I like to drag it out and just hang it out there and share all these words that I know.
All these words. Well, let's move on to the director and producer.
Oh, yes. The director and the producer. Takashi Miike is a pretty well-known Japanese filmmaker.
Me too.
Director, producer, writer. And he was born August 24th in Yaokasha, Japan. Did I say that correctly?
I have no idea. Yeah, any listeners that actually speak Japanese?
We do not.
Or just know
I believe it's pronounced
what these places
Yao
are called?
Osaka, Japan. Sorry, Yao Osaka.
We're real sorry.
Very, very, very sorry. Best known for shock and extreme violence in his films. He began his career in 1991 with some TV production work and direct-to-video cinema releases.
His movies are generally quite cool.
I mean, Audition's good, but...
Yeah, however, the film that put Mika on the map was Shinjuku Triad Society in 1995. This was also the first of a trilogy he directed called Black Society Trilogy, which includes Rainy Dog in 1997 and Ley Lines in 1999. I have not seen these films, but I read a little bit about their violence and graphic content and shock value. This director definitely goes for it.
Rainy Dog sounds cute, but given that it's a Miike film, I doubt that it is.
Yeah. One can assume. Someone's probably jerking off into a flower pot. I'm just saying.
So yeah, Mika gained real acclaim with the film Audition in 1999, and his ultra-violent Yakuza epic called Dead or Alive also came out in 1999. He's also popular for Ichi the Killer. That was released, I believe, just to DVD in 2001.
That's a weird movie.
That's the aforementioned ejaculating into a flower pot.
Yeah.
That's in that movie.
That's an odd place to ejaculate.
That movie is really fucking gross.
It is. It's a very weird time.
Yeah. I had friends that were like real edgy, and they were way into Miike movies.
Mm-hmm.
Aside from Audition,
Yeah.
I just never understood the appeal.
Right.
No. So yeah, then Miike was also known for the film Death of a Samurai, came out in 2011, which premiered at the Cannes Film Festival. And then in 2013, a film called Straw Shield was nominated for the Golden Palm at the 2013 Cannes Film Festival.
Right on.
You guys ever hear of Straw Shield?
I
No.
don't think so, no.
Yeah. So apparently, yeah, that was that. So there were two producers for the film Audition. Satoshi Fukushima, best known for producing films such as Audition, The Grudge of 2004, The Grudge 2 of 2006, Shudder in 2008, and a Japanese horror mystery from 2005 called Reincarnation. The second producer on the job was Ikemi Suyama, best known for Audition and a drama titled Wolf Girl, not even slightly a horror film, but very horror-esque name, if you ask me. That came out in 2005. So yeah, that's pretty much what I have on the director and the producers.
Nice.
Interesting.
Yes.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Joe, why don't you tell us about the writer?
Yeah, I'd like to.
You'd like to, but will you?
That's a good question to ask after somebody says, I'd like to. All right.
But I'm not going
will
to.
You?
This movie was based on a novel written by Ryu Murakami, who is a Japanese novelist born February 19th, 1952 in Nagasaki, Japan. I've read one of his books, and if you like weird shit, it was pretty good. He's a Japanese novelist, short story writer, essayist, and filmmaker. His novels explore human nature through themes of just drug use and surrealism and horror, just set in Japan, generally. He is the writer of Almost Transparent Blue, Coin Locker Babies, and In the Miso Soup. He has about 3 horror credits, Audition, and 2 episodes of the Masters of Horror anthology, if you're familiar with that.
I am. I liked the anthology series.
Yeah, me too. And then the screenplay was written by Daisuke Tengan. And again, I don't speak Japanese, so I apologize for any words I'm mispronouncing. He is the son of famed Japanese director Shohei Imamura. Sound that one out. A graduate of the Ryukyu University. Again, only horror credits, Audition, and Masters of Horror.
Right on.
Brilliant.
Yeah, he wrote other films. None of them were horror, and Kane hits me with the pain stick if I talk about non-horror movies on this show.
Yep.
Fuck those films.
Yeah, I don't give a shit about the non-horror.
Yeah.
How about the cinematographer?
How about the cinematographer? Hideo Yamamoto was born in 1960 in Gifu, Japan. He's a cinematographer, not a lot of horror credits. A different episode of Masters of Horror, not the same one that that Murakami wrote. And he also did cinematography for The Grudge and something called The Happiness of the Categories, which I'm not familiar with, but it looked real weird. And also Ringu 2, not Ringu 1 though. He won a bunch of awards in Japan, including the Mainichi Film Award for Best Cinematography and the Silver Frog Award, which I know nothing about, but I selected because it sounds cute.
Ribbit. Ribbit.
It does sound cute. It does. I like that you're like, he doesn't have a lot of horror credits, but he was attached to some of the biggest and best horror things that existed in that era.
Yeah, yeah.
And he has a gorgeous silver frog on the mantle of his fireplace. I just want to say real quick, that was illuminating. Domo arigato.
Mr. Roboto.
Nope.
You know, I was kind of hoping this episode wasn't going to have that.
Yeah. I could cut it out. I won't, but I could.
I just said thank you in Japanese, that's all.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I appreciate your gratitude.
And then Joe fucked it.
And then I fucked it.
Yeah.
He fucked it like a pumpkin.
By referencing the pan sticks.
All right. I guess I should start talking about stuff.
Yeah, tell us about stuff.
Please do. Share your mind with us.
All right, so...
And your mucus. Share your mucus and your mind.
I'm going to have a rough time here, and you guys are going to have to suffer through it. So
yeah, we believe in you.
That's fine. I've been suffering for a few hours now.
Ihi Shina was Asami Yamazaki. You know, I was going to come up with a funny quip, and... because like when I watch the movie with you guys, I have like a blank space and I add that funny quip while we're watching the movie. I don't have a funny clip for her. Everything about this character was tragic. There's nothing funny about it.
Right.
I couldn't make any jokes. Regardless, Ihi Shina was born in Fukuoka, Japan on February 3rd, 1976. She was actually a fashion model before she was an actress. She got her first big break working for Benetton, which is a global fashion group out of Italy. She made her film debut with a movie called Open House. Her horror credits include Audition, Tokyo Gore Police, which is fantastic.
It's a great movie.
Vampire Girl versus Frankenstein Girl, also a great movie.
That sounds awesome.
Hell Driver, The Profane Exhibit, and Use the Eyeballs.
Huh.
That's a good title. Is that about driving?
Yeah, that's an exciting title.
Yeah.
I always honk my... Yeah, I'm always like honking my horn like, use your eyeballs!
Regardless, this character, if I met this woman on the street today, 20 years later, 21, 22 years later, right? Met this woman on the street, a part of my brain would be like, she's going to cut your feet off and cut your tongue off. Go away quickly.
Yep.
Like, that's how well she played the role.
She was like, kitty, 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 kitty. And like
Very
stuff
creepy.
and... Ugh.
She was saying deeper over and over again, and that was awful.
In a way that sounded very cute.
It did sound cute. All right.
Yeah.
Next, we got Ryo Ishibashi. Everybody fucking hated him. Shigeharu Aoma.
Including us.
Yeah, we hated it too. Funny though, he was also born in Fukuoka, Japan on July 20th, 1956. He is an actor and the lead singer of a Japanese kind of nostalgic rock band called ARB.
Huh, that's kind of cool.
Nice.
I gave it a listen and it's like 80s mod rock. Like, it's very weird. He gained world renown for his roles in the movies Suicide Club and Audition. And he gained particular note in the U.S. for playing Nakagawa in The Grudge and The Grudge 2. His horror credits, are you ready for this? Audition, Suicide Club, The Grudge 1 and 2.
What are the Grudge connections with this movie?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so next we got Jun Kunimura. Everybody hated him too. He played Yasuhisa Yoshikawa. He was born in Kumamoto, Japan on November 16th, 1955. He actually won Best Supporting Actor and the Popular Star Award at the 37th Blue Dragon Film Awards for his work in the horror film The Wailing, which if you haven't seen, you should see. That movie's tight.
Will it have me wailing?
He got his start in the 1973 disaster film Tidal Wave. His work spans the globe, and he's played a ton of fantastic roles. His horror credits include Audition, Tomy Forbidden Fruit, Godzilla Final Wars, Parasite live action, The Wailing, Shin Godzilla. Honestly, he's been in a lot. All right, he's been in a lot of horror movies that he's been in. All right, next up, we got Tetsu Sawaki. He's just the kid. He played Shichihiko Aoyama. I don't know, man. I'm sorry. My apologies.
We don't speak Japanese. We're very sorry.
Born in Osaka, Japan on August 24th, 1982, he did a few movies from 99 to 03, then gave up the glitz and the glory to be a tax advisor in his hometown. His movies, horror movies, are Audition. Honestly, I just think it's good that we witness a child actor, and that child actor survived mostly unscathed.
Yeah.
He's doing taxes for people. That's...
Yeah.
So this next actor, like, I almost ended up in a fucking rabbit hole reading about her husband, right? So Miyuki Matsuda was the dead wife. She played Ryoko Aoyama. Well, God damn it. Born in Tokyo, Japan on October 6, 1961, she is the widow of Yosuke Matsuda. And this is crazy. Spike from Cowboy Bebop was based on him.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, say that again? Cowboy Bebop?
Yeah. The anime, it was like super popular.
Oh.
Spike from Cowboy Bebop was based on him.
JD's not into that kind of thing because he's not a nerd.
Right.
Oh no, I'm a nerd, but I'm a different kind of nerd.
Yeah.
Different brand.
Her horror credits are, and this is awesome, Rebirth of Mothra 3, which means that there was 2 other Rebirth of Mothras.
Mothra rules. I want to watch the Rebirth of Mothra trilogy.
Yeah. And she was in Audition, but only as like a dead lady. Next, we got Toshi Nagishi, housekeeper extraordinaire, narrowly escaped death, and she played Ri.
Do moths begin in a chrysalis, or is that a butterfly?
They both begin in a chrysalis.
Okay. Just checking.
Yeah, she was born in Tokyo, Japan on February 3rd, 1954. Audition was her only horror credit. And so that's all I'm going to say about that.
Yeah.
So this next one, I think this was the guy in the back. Shigeru Saki. The name of the character is Toastmaster.
That guy was in sad shape, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was having a bad time.
He was missing a lot.
Yeah.
And she left him with a ring finger, which is an interesting finger to leave him with. He had a thumb, but just a ring finger on one hand. The other hand seemed fine. Was that the hand that you'd normally wear a wedding band on?
I don't know. Joe, what finger is your wedding band on?
Your left hand.
So then yes, that was in fact the...
So she just left that one finger intact, so because she believed that he belonged to her, possibly? And as if...
I don't know, man.
I'm trying to unpack that part still.
There might be something to that. Like, that actually makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
It's a journey. And for those of our listeners who decide to watch Audition, they need to comment to help me clarify some of that.
Yeah. Regardless, he was born in Shizuoka, Japan on November 18th, 1949. He's done quite a few Power Ranger type projects.
Huh.
That was really weird to see after seeing him in essentially tidy whities and then missing appendages and just gobbling up puke. That was yeah. But his horror movie
Did you
credits,
say whiteys? Those weren't very whitey anymore.
Well, they're still the common term for those types of underwears are tidy whities.
It's true.
Gotcha, but they were tidy dirties for sure. Those were brutalized.
But yeah, so his horror movie credits are, this is great. Guinea Pig 6, Mermaid in a Manhole.
The hell?
Yeah. Audition, Ghost Train, Yamagata Scream, and Inkiri Village. And then finally, we're going to settle on Renji Ishibashi.
Mm-hmm.
And he was the creepy-ass creep old man in a wheelchair. He was born in Shinagawa, Tokyo on August 9th, 1941. And this guy has some cool movies under his belt.
Can I also add that was the first time I've ever seen an old gentleman in a wheelchair jerk off?
Really? You've never seen an older guy just stroke his stuff while sitting in a wheelchair?
I mean, okay, that was a dumb comment.
All I mean, I saw that multiple times in Chicago.
Yeah.
Same old guy, same wheelchair.
I'll bet. Yeah, I'll bet.
The story would be weirder if he had a different wheelchair every time he masturbated in front of you.
No,
It's like a shiny
was
gold
a fake story.
one.
I never saw an old guy jerking off in a wheelchair.
I'm going to cut that out so it sounds like that was a true story.
Regardless, his horror credits include Tetsuo the Iron Man,
Great movie.
Gemini Audition, Tales of the Unusual, Pyrokinesis, and a bunch more. Most of the list of the movies that he's done, no surprise, are erotic films. In fact, the images that came up when I looked those movies up all had boobies in them.
Were they erotic?
I mean, yeah, if you like boobies and that turns you on, then yeah,
Now,
that's fair,
him jerking off makes a whole lot more sense to me.
Right? There's a lot of bad areas that this movie takes you to.
And I think some of this may have been a product of us watching the director's cut or the unedited version or whatever the fuck.
Yep.
It might just be because I was more tolerant of just dark, upsetting shit when I was in my late teens and early 20s. I don't remember being that movie being as upsetting as it was. I just remember it being weird.
There's
No,
some
I remember
trauma
it being upsetting.
stuff happening. Yep.
I mean, that's why. Well, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. The other thing that Rinji Ishibashi did was Lone Wolf and Cub. He was in 2 of those.
That's cool.
And even though it's not a horror movie, it's like classic fucking samurai movie.
Yeah.
So you talk about that if a guy you're talking about was in that movie.
Then he later went on to do what he did in Audition.
Yeah. Regardless, we'll move right along to the score. The score was done by Koji Endo, who was born in 1964, but I could not find much else out about him. He's done a decent amount of movie scoring. He's scored over 38 horror films. So I'm just going to kind of gloss over. He did Audition, 3 Extremes, Gozu, One Missed Call, The Vanished, and Over Your Dead Body. I can attest that those movies are really good.
Yeah. Gozu
Nice.
is very good.
Yeah. So if you get the opportunity, listeners, watch those movies. Maybe not Audition, unless you can get the non-extended version.
Right.
This keeps happening. We keep watching the extended version.
Well, my thinking going in is that we'll have that's the experience that the filmmakers wanted you to have. And if we're going to talk about the film, then that's the version of the film that we should watch.
God, you're such a pretentious film nerd.
Yeah.
Regardless,
It's good logic, though. It makes
the
sense.
score for this movie was really subdued.
Yeah.
It had
It had some
great
cool
atmosphere.
moments.
I can definitely dig it.
Yeah.
But it's not burned into my memory. Like the From Beyond score, the Puppet Master score, the Pet Sematary score,
Right.
like those scores, if you played them for me, I'd be like, oh shit, that's from, Pet Sematary.
Yeah.
That's I could do that.
You could listen to those without the visuals, just
Sure.
as they are, and be very.
And I would know.
You would know. It's identifiable.
Right. And
Yes.
so much of it was weird, pseudo bossa nova jazz elevator music.
Yep.
So I don't think that did it any favors.
Yeah.
But it was still good. It set the mood, and that's what I want from any score in a movie. But this in horror movies particularly, I feel like the score kind of leads the way.
Mm-hmm.
Like you could take a buddy cop film and change the entire tone of that movie by putting in a good horror score behind it.
Right.
With shrieking violins, you could change almost any dynamic.
Yep.
Or conversely, you could turn a horror movie into a comedy if you put the right music behind it.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
That is
polka.
a fact.
Yeah.
Although now I would like to see a movie where a director specifically took silly music
Mm-hmm.
and ruined that silly music by putting it in front of or putting it behind a bunch of horrific, terrifying things.
I mean, I can make that happen for you. I have just enough knowledge of video editing that I could create that.
Well, we'll get back to that later. For now, though, JD, why don't you tell us about the special effects?
I will do such a thing, and I'll do it now. The special effects artist was Yuichi Matsui, who I felt did a pretty terrific job on this film, and he worked on Ichi the Killer in 2001 in the makeup department. So I saw a lot of makeup effects and special effects credits from this artist. He did the special effects on Kill Bill Volume 1 in 2003 and Shudder in 2008. He did the makeup for that film.
Shudder was awesome.
Yeah.
I like Kill Bill, but, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and then, well, I'm kind of skipping around a bit, but I want to mention that he also did the special effects for The Grudge in 2004, Reincarnation in 2005, and also a film called Tokyo Zombie in 2005. He was part of that TV series y'all had mentioned, Masters of Horror, as a special makeup effects artist in 2006. I worked on Vanished, which is like a mystery horror film.
It's a good movie.
Yep, that came out in 2006. Retribution, a horror thriller, also 2006. The Grudge 2, again, 2006. Kaidan, I believe that's how you pronounce it, but I'm not 100%, which is a horror film about a murderous samurai. That came out in 2007. And then he did some sci-fi horror films. Cursed Songs, Parts 2 and 3 in 2008. Pandemic in 2009, Lesson of the Evil in 2012, then an action horror film in 2016 called Terraformers.
That sounds silly.
An action horror?
No, Terraformers.
Yeah,
I know what they're trying to say.
I mean, it's a word.
Terraforming, I know what it's doing.
Sure. And finally, two different films called it was broken into chapters Q and A, called Black Maiden. So there was a chapter A and a chapter Q, and Matsui did makeup and effects on both of those chapters.
Nice.
Yep. And that's pretty much the extent of the special effects.
Right on.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're just kind of breezing along here.
Yeah, this is a nice, easy one.
So we're going to talk about our personal experience with the movie now. We'll go ahead and start with Joe's, like we usually do, but even more so because he's the one that chose this movie.
I did.
So
I did pick this movie.
Tell us about your experiences.
Yeah. I've talked about it on the show before, but when I was like in my late teens into my 20s, I got heavily into Asian cinema, and this was a movie that I saw that just stuck with me all these years later. I don't really have any like story. There's no narrative. It's just, it was a weird kind of fucked up movie that I watched and liked at that time. And then, you were
disturbing.
Like, hey, we're going to watch some non-American movies for this season. And that was one I picked, and then we watched it, and it was weird. And now I need a shower.
Yeah, unclean.
There's no possible way to shower that free of your body afterward. There's just no possible way. I am forever soiled.
I think maybe my soul hadn't fully dried when I was, because like I don't remember being as made uncomfortable by the things in that movie as I was when we watched it just now.
I will feel sullied until at least tomorrow.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of feeling sullied, JD, why don't you tell us about your personal experience with the movie?
Oh, my personal experience? Well, fuck. This is my first experience with Audition.
Nice. Glad it was the director's cut.
Yeah, that was interesting. I'm glad that I didn't see this any younger.
Mm-hmm.
I have my adult brain to help me through the horrid things I've witnessed.
Mm-hmm.
Some gruesome shit in there. Lots of torture. Lots of, violence, all the things that the director is infamous for.
Mm-hmm.
And, I just kind of felt some type of way about some of the transactions. I really was creeped out by the lead character right off the bat. I just kind of felt...
Yeah, you mentioned wanting bad things to happen to that character when they started to happen to him. Did you
then I'm
feel
like, oh no, I take it back.
No?
Take it back. Yeah, I was just like, no. Yeah, it was because the bad things were beyond my what I could comprehend to be bad. I was just like,
no,
oh,
I just
no,
wanted
now his
somebody to
belly
kick him in the balls.
I did. I
Kick him in
really
the balls,
genuinely
get him fired
did.
from work,
Right.
like those bad things.
Don't put acupuncture needles in his face.
I wanted to kick his balls. I wanted to kick his
He
balls.
needed a good kick in the balls.
I really wanted to kick
How
his
many
balls.
times can we say balls in one episode?
So many.
But he didn't necessarily need to be hobbled with a piano grip.
Yeah.
He didn't.
Spoiler
No, he
alert.
didn't need that. And then his son didn't need to see what he saw. So I was just like, wow.
Yeah,
it's
that
like,
gets traumatized.
and then rewinding to Asami's past, I was like really horrified by a lot of, that imagery. I didn't take kindly to seeing like a child be tortured by a cretin, So, and there's so much of the story that was just kind of like left out and missing and left to your imagination. And I don't know. I just really, I had a hard time with that one. I'm still not sure what to think about it. So yeah, Kane, if you would like to
So
try to cheer me up.
I mean, I don't know if that's my story's gonna
we can
help.
talk about getting kicked in the balls some more.
No, we've said balls just enough, I think. I think we're at the threshold.
I'm sorry, I said it the most. I overworked the balls on this episode.
Oh no. You gotta be more gentle, man. You gotta gently work the balls. Don't overwork the balls.
You got to caress them. You gotta be
Okay.
More,
Let's break
more
away
caring.
from that right now. All right, we're still talking
Okay,
about
whatever.
balls.
We're still talking about balls.
I didn't say it. You've been saying it.
All right,
I've-
so I saw this movie maybe like a year after it came out. One of my close friends was really, really into exploitation films. So I ended up getting subjected to a bunch of exploitation movies. Some of those are like Last House on the Left,
Right.
Spit on Your Grave, that kind of shit.
yeah.
But then I also got
That's a weird subgenre to specifically be into. Like, I'm not judging your friend, but
he was very edgy.
okay, I get
Yeah.
that. I see.
I feel like the ending of this movie was like edging on like a snuff film.
Maybe.
I mean,
No, it's not.
yeah, I mean, no more or less so than any other like really dark horror movie.
Yeah. No, but I mean, so, he subjected me to a lot of films,
Right.
and this was one.
I wouldn't hang out with that person.
Well, it's fucking too late now. He's a good dude. He really is a good dude. He
Fair.
just really liked watching movies that assaulted you.
Right. I had that phase too.
Yeah, it was
I think
when
we
you're
all
young,
Yeah.
and I was never into that type of stuff like he was, but, I loved horror movies, and he was like, oh, well, if you love horror movies, let's watch this.
Mm-hmm.
So I watched Audition with him. It made me mildly uncomfortable, but not bad.
Mm-hmm.
Enough that, like when I watch a horror movie and I love it, I keep watching it. Like it'll be something that I'll see and I'll be like, ooh, I haven't watched that in like 6 months. I'm going to watch that again because I like that.
Yeah.
So I'm like constantly watching new horror movies and rewatching all of the ones that I've seen before that I really love.
Sure.
Like, I
Right.
I haven't rewatched this movie in 20 years.
With good reason.
Yeah.
And I realized tonight why that was. It's not a bad movie. It really isn't.
No.
It's a good movie. It's just very traumatic.
Yeah.
And because of the fact that that type of abuse it's not entertainment.
No.
And so I think that's where I can't get behind. When I was younger, I could watch movies like that and be unscathed. But as I've gotten older
Mm-hmm.
and I've become more aware of the world around me,
Yeah.
and less focused on just me,
Mm-hmm.
when I watch movies like this, it sticks with me afterwards,
Yeah. Same.
and so my personal experience with this movie when I was younger doesn't matter because, and when you're young, you're stupid,
Right.
and you do stupid things and
Mm-hmm.
cling to stupid ideologies.
Right.
As an adult and as like a grown ass adult, I don't think I'll watch this movie again. I think this is my last viewing of Audition. I think I've seen it enough now, in both kind of phases of life.
Mhm.
I saw it as a young man. Now I saw it as an old dude. I'm done with Audition. It's good. I can put it away.
I
But
don't disagree.
I do think that it was written well. The
Mhm.
was fucking superb.
Oh yeah, the cast was amazing.
Or superb. It was,
Yeah, it really was.
It was a really well done movie.
Mhm.
I just don't feel good having watched it.
Yeah.
And I didn't think.
Which is the mark of a
Go ahead.
I was just going to say it's the mark of a good piece of art. I would say that something that really affects you deeply and it's lasting. But I guess I say that, and I also feel sort of like I don't really mean it fully when I'm talking about Audition.
Right. Well, I mean, I think that's the thing. Like, you know, when we watch horror movies together, we're watching these things through the eyes of, 10 years later, or 20 years later, or 30 years later. We watched these movies a long time ago, and we have those memories of our first experiences with them. And this is the show where we have those moments. This is like nostalgia to an extent. We bring those movies back and we talk about them. Every now and then we're going to have these situations pop up where a movie we thought was fine 20 years ago, we rewatch it and we're like, that's not fine. That's fucking awful.
Whoa.
Yeah. And again, with horror as a genre, we're going to occasionally stumble into that trap of like, oh yeah, this movie was way fucking darker than I remember it being.
Exactly.
This was not fun escapism.
No, this brought me crashing into reality.
Yeah.
Regardless, I think that's all I have to say about this. Honestly,
Yeah.
I think anybody else have anything to say?
Balls.
God damn it, Joe.
I'm still at a loss. Oh, did he slip balls in there
JD,
again?
let's. We've got time, man. We've got time. Yeah, he did. You did it too. Shut up. No more talking about those things.
What do you have against round objects?
Yeah. So JD, what do you need us to unpack?
I don't know.
We've got time.
It's just it's kind of icky.
It is icky.
It is icky. Yeah.
It's a icky. I feel icky. I want to take a shower.
It's definitely in the same neighborhood as like Old Boy and Requiem for a Dream, where you just watch it and you feel bad after watching it.
Yeah, I'm filmy. I'm real filmy.
Yeah, I watched a movie with Dario Argento's daughter. What is her name? I always forget it.
Asia Argento?
Asia Argento, yes. I watched a movie with her in it fucking forever ago, 2006 maybe, called The Heart is Deceitful Above All Things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she was in it. Marilyn Manson was in it. And the kid that she assaulted is in it. And yeah, after watching that movie, I felt unclean from that watching. I've never watched it again. I'll never watch it again. It's just but like, that's the sensation that I kind of get from Audition now. It's like, I'm going to have to clean this off me somehow. Let me go dump vodka in me and see if that can wipe this away.
Sure.
But yeah, so do you have anything you want to say, JD?
No, I'm an iron trap right now.
All right. Well, if you watch Audition, let us know what you think.
Maybe don't watch Audition.
I would give you definitely a trigger warning. There's a lot badness that's in there. There's a lot of misogyny. There's a lot of oppression. There's a lot of objectification. It's just a lot of bad.
Yeah, because if it were just like violence and torture, I mean, this is a horror movie podcast. We talk about that shit. But it was wrapped up in such an awful package.
It really was.
Sure.
Oh, I'm like nervous laughing. Regardless, if you watch it, let us know what you think. If you feel that the non-director's cut doesn't, show that type of thing, it doesn't make you have that feeling, let us know about that too.
Yeah.
You can find us at wegiveyoubbrainworms.com. as well as most places the podcasts live. Definitely, send us a message. At the website, we have a Yell at Us button. If you've got something you want to say, just click that button after saying it, and we'll get it at some point.
Sure.
Also, we warn you against forgetting to like, follow, and subscribe on YouTube.
And don't forget to click the bell.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, I mean, it's right next to the subscribe button. If you click the subscribe button and don't click the bell, you're fucking yourself over.
Yeah,
you're
wasting
not
your
going to
own
get notified.
time.
Do both.
Yeah, you may as well not subscribe if you're not going to click the bell.
Well, don't say that. Just click. Just click the subscribe button. All right. Yeah. Okay. I see you right now. Yeah. Just move your mouse clicker. Click on that button. Right. The bell right next to it. Just click on that too, and just go ahead and say all.
Yeah.
Because we do a lot of cool shit on this YouTube channel. So you might as well just click all. Get all notifications. And I think that's it. I think
Yeah,
we're
I
good.
think we're done.
Click the button.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the thing.
Konnichiwa. I wanted to kick his balls. I really wanted to kick his balls. I overworked the balls on this